This is a quick recording for Dougal Dragon, but for other people that may want to add a custom zone to EverQuest with all the different toolings that I offer. The first step, which I'll put in the description of this video, is to get the EQ Core DLL and either clone, I guess you could download a zip, or fork the repository. And when you get it, you should have a solution file on the top or on the root directory of the clone. And if you open this with Visual Studio 2022 or 19, it'll open up the project and you can literally just hit build and it should build the solution. Once built, there is an options file on the top here that if you scroll through, you can add certain features like the gamma restore fix. That's a good one. We're going to actually add a custom zone. In this case, we're adding a custom zone called hollows, but really you can put any custom zone you like. The key elements to this, well, all of them are kind of key, but the biggest ones are the zone ID, which you want to make sure it's reserved and custom. I'm actually going to use my Fifi Dark Launcher to spin up a SQL instance. And if we go to Heidi, we should be able to find, assuming it starts properly, there it goes, zone data, and we're looking for zone ID number, and around 700 and, what was it? 87, as you can see, is not currently an entry. So what I can actually do is right click and duplicate row with keys. And we want to go ahead and change this ID to something new. So 5888, which is the next ID. We're going to match the name. So hollows. This one isn't as important, but we can go ahead and put darkened hollows. Starting location, I'm going to put it to 000 because I know it's a custom zone, but depending on your type of zone, you might want to change that. And the other key thing is the zone ID number. We want to make sure that is set so that it's the same as the client, 787. And we do have a duplicate for this value. Let's try 9. There we go. No? Interesting. Let's take it empty and it should just auto increment. So there's the next value that was available, 6020. ID just needs to be unique. It doesn't really matter. It's just an index in the record for zone. Now that that's done, we can go ahead and spin up world. This will take a moment as we get shared memory to run and such. And while that happens, we've also built the binary as you saw over here. Oops. We have a corruption error. I don't know where that came from. Try it again. Oh, okay. Let's rebuild. I haven't seen that error before. It's because I'm recording a video. You know how it goes. Nevertheless, it looks like it is not happy with the file in my bin directory. So let's delete it. Specifically, I think one of these files I'm not very happy with. So here. There, success, no problems. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and take the D input from here and put it into my EverQuest directory, which I just call RF2 vanilla. I'm going to go ahead and replace my D input in here. And world is now running. So let's go ahead and start up some zones. We don't need to UCS and query serve for this. And if we go to EQ game, I think I injected the patch me. Nope. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. By putting this in, you don't have to have a shortcut to EQ game anymore. So I did that. Let's go ahead and go back to debug, copy the DLL back to the RF2 client. And let's go ahead and start EQ game by itself. There it goes. And you notice it started the client and it didn't ask for you to, run the EQ launcher. I think my server name, it's FBX. Yeah. There it is. Go ahead and hit play. I'm not fully sure if Zachary has been GM. Doesn't look like it, so I'm going to hit the make GM button. I think that works. Just because I don't have full confidence yet. Fifi's still work in progress. We're going to look at account. And status is not fixed. That's all it's supposed to do, but it's still work in progress. Anyways, So this now should have no accounts because the only account known is Zachary, which is 250. Okay, so in theory, what is it, find zone? We do hollows. You can see darkened hollows is an option, and we're going to go ahead and hit zone. And assuming I didn't mess anything up, we could also just crash. Let's go ahead and investigate why it crashed by going into the ROF2 logs folder and look at debug. And we can see if hollows was even requested. It's not. So we crashed. Oh, you know why? I don't think I have hollows in here, do I? I don't have the hollows file. So it crashed because there's no file named that. I think I have one called hollows somewhere. Let's see. Let's go to, I gotta think about this. Where would hollows be? That would be under EQGZI. Think. Okay, this might take me a moment. Let me think about this. C drive games, EQ tools. Hollows was part of Demontia folder. I wasn't prepped for this step, so bear with me for a second. I'm just trying to find a valid EQG zone that has been built. You know what it is? I think it's C drive source Demontia. And then we have zone hollows. So this is the raw files though. I don't think the actual built file is in here unless there it is. Here's the hollows files. Okay, so we're gonna put that into the vanilla client for now. And let's go ahead and start up EQ game again. Everything looks good. Start up the client again. Okay, we'll zone in. And do the same find zone hollows. There it is. And you can see the ID is 787. So you could also type, hashtag zone 787 or hashtag zone hollows, and we're still crashing. Of course we are. Let's see if we can figure out why. Does this even show a Nariac zone? No. Is this set to read only by chance? No, it's writable. Interesting. Let's just try going to a different zone and see if we're getting a crash. Obviously was not anticipating this, but it's part of the job. Let's go ahead and hit up Task Manager as well. And we do it by zone process name. Okay. Zone Nariac A. All right, so we zone perfectly fine there. You can see the request happens, everything's good. Now let's do zone hollows. And you can see it like freezes and it crashes. Interesting. Did I mess something up? Let's double check. Oh, this is very helpful. Custom zones need to be enabled. That's the reason we're having an issue. So let's build that with it actually enabled. And we'll do the same sort of copying real quick, which is under here. Copy that to my vanilla. Okay, start up EQ game again. And hop back in game. And now it's zone to hollows. works a little better when it's actually enabled. And there you are. We're in the hollows. So, and yes, I did animate all the textures to do the weird stuff. This is just the test zone. Apparently in the walls, actually. There's usually a centerpiece here. Yep, there it is. Anyways, so that's how you inject a custom zone using the core DLL, and I guess how Fippy starts too. There you go.